Hey everyone, the case we're going to look at today is the case Gideon v. Wainwright, and this is the case that incorporates the right to an attorney part of the Sixth Amendment to the states via the 14th Amendment due process clause. So in this case, it takes place in Panama City, Florida. There is a break-in at a pool hall, a place where people play billiards and drink, smoke, that kind of stuff here in the 1960s. And what happens is after the break-in, there is a witness that claimed to see who did the break-in.
Mr. Officer, Clarence Gideon did it. I saw him.
So you hear the witness statement right there.
Thank you. I will find him.
Here comes the police officer again.
You're under arrest. No.
So Clarence Gideon, who was a homeless man, he'd gotten in some trouble before. Clarence Gideon is arrested. So Clarence Gideon is then brought before the court. Here he comes, brought before the court. And Clarence Gideon, before the court, asked the court about an attorney.
Hey, don't I have a right to have an attorney? Sixth Amendment, right? No, that is only for death penalties in Florida.
So you hear the judge of the case say it's only for, in the state of Florida at the time, you only had the right to a court-appointed attorney if it was a death penalty case, or you couldn't. You had a mental issue where you couldn't defend yourself. So Clarence Gideon, unfortunately, had to defend himself for this charge he faced a maximum of 5 years in prison. So Clarence Gideon didn't do a very good job defending himself.
Hey, I can't really argue with that. I did horribly. Continue.
So he didn't do a very good job. And guess how many years Clarence Gideon got? He got convicted and got 5 years in prison, and he's taken away to prison.
No! Have a good life for 5 years.
So he's put in prison for supposedly 5 years. That's a sentence. While in prison, here's Clarence Gideon right here. While in prison, Clarence Gideon read his Janda textbook, read his government, read the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and discovered that, you know what, he might actually have a case here. So he wrote his own, he's still his own lawyer, he wrote his own petition to the Supreme Court. He was hoping they would grant him a writ of cert and hear his case. So there's Clarence Gideon writing his petition. Here's what it looks like. This is the actual petition there. He's working hard on it back there.
Hey, Supreme Court, catch this!
So he sends his petition to the U.S. Supreme Court. U.S. Supreme Court reads this petition, says, hey, this guy actually has a case. And in the Supreme Court case, Gideon v. Wainwright, the question, as we talked about, the constitutional question is, does the Sixth Amendment guarantee Clarence Gideon the right to an attorney? And the answer is, the court says yes, Clarence Gideon has the Sixth Amendment right to counsel. And the Bill of Rights, Sixth Amendment, does apply to the states. And Clarence Gideon is set free.
You're free to go, Clarence. Yay!
He is set free, Sixth Amendment rights, along with a number of other prisoners in Florida and around the country because of this. But this is the big case where if you can't afford an attorney, you have a right to an attorney. And many of you hear that being said. If you can't afford an attorney, an attorney will be appointed for you. You think of probably your Miranda rights, and you think of the Miranda rights, which comes after this case, and that's going to be something that the accused have a right to as well. But in this case, the big important thing here is Sixth Amendment applied to the states via the 14th Amendment. You do have a right to an attorney, and Clarence Gideon set free. He actually gets another trial and is found innocent. So all's well for him. And this is a case we hold to be very, very important still today. So Gideon v. Wainwright, Sixth Amendment, 14th Amendment, applies it to the states, selective incorporation once again. Thanks for watching, everybody. And thanks to my two guest stars once again.